On today's episode of Identity, a catalyst, a dreamer, and a visionary, Vashti Napol joins me for a chat over coffee. Umoja Group welcomes us warmly in their rehearsal space in Soweto. What's APPenning features an app called Sports Republic and a Jewish Scene magazine website. And we play out with Munewa's More Than You.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Good morning and welcome to Identity on this beautiful Sunday morning, right here on your favorite channel, SABC 1 Mzansians. I'm your host, Viwe Koala. Before we get the ball rolling, take note that on the 18th of this month around the world, we celebrate International Museum Day. This day is an occasion to raise awareness on how important museums are in the development of society. So we need to look after places that safeguard the origins of our history. And next weekend, the Jewish community will be celebrating Shavuot, which marks the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. The 10 Commandments are read in synagogues, just as they were on the desert on Mount Sinai over 3,300 years ago. To kickstart today's episode, we're joined by Vashti Napol, a One Young World Ambassador. Let's meet our inspirational guests now. Our guest today is the founder of Tehuti Institute, which was launched in 2013. Tehuti is an organization that works with both economically disadvantaged learners and learners with better means to foster between them relationships and respect of mutual skill and interest. Vashti, thank you so much for joining us on Identity today.
Thanks for having me.
How was the young Vashti? So what made young Vashti happy?
I was a massive nerd. I read a lot. I spent a lot of time kind of just hiding in my house with my family or in the library, so that made me happy. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that because you have a passion for serving people. I mean, where did that come from?
I was lucky. So my parents, if they did anything within the community, and my extended family, if they did anything within the community, volunteering or anything like that, they took us with, even though we were very little. So I don't think I realized at the time that I was getting that exposure, and I didn't think of it as something I was doing actively, but my family did take me along.
And City Press awarded you with the non-fiction award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you also have a book coming out, so tell us a bit about both of that.
Okay, so the award is for the book. It's kind of terrifying because it means I now have to finish the book. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And the book itself is a non-fiction, like you said, about gifted learners in South Africa. It's trying to find where South Africa's genius children are, especially from poorer homes.
And what interests me about you, I mean, I read an article that you wrote as an author. You know, you speak about Black intelligence and actually developing children who are underprivileged. What made you specifically go into that niche?
Okay, so I did a lot of work when I was in university, volunteering with debating in South Africa, and it took me into a lot of less fortunate areas where in rural areas or in townships we were helping set up debating leagues or holding debating tournaments under tents with kids from very poor backgrounds. And they were really smart, they were really interesting people. And I started to realize that even if they had the raw talent, their environment may have meant that they were never going to capitalize on it. And that's where I got very interested in it.
Why is it important to harness those gifts, especially with underprivileged young children?
Well, I think we can be selfish about it. So South Africans can be selfish about it and say, we want South Africa to do well. And part of that is empowering these people who have amazing skills. That's the one thing. But also I think at an individual level, if you are a child, you want to be your best self, and you want those opportunities for yourself. If you're a parent, you want them for your child. And so there's that level too.
And what role does spirituality play in this? Because debating is a thought process, sport. Yes. So what role does spirituality have in it?
So we have a very interesting relationship with religion in my family. We're allowed to question a lot, and that is exactly the kind of child I was. So if you were interested in the philosophy of it, if you were skeptical about an aspect of it, you were encouraged to debate or to discuss with people who knew more, but also people who were like you and who were also wondering. So that was a good jumping off point. And it also teaches you to be quite respectful, because just because someone has a view and you might have another view, it doesn't make them automatically wrong. You have to find a way to discuss it with them in a way that is respectful, and I think religion has helped a lot with that, because it is such a sensitive area that's quite close to people's hearts.
And speaking about religion, you're Hindu.
Yes.
So what values and principles do you share with your young learners?
So I don't think that it's very explicit. I don't think we say, well, this is what Hinduism teaches us. And I think a lot of religions do converge on a lot of topics. But for me, it has been very much about equality. So Hinduism is big on the relationship that you have with your soul and the souls of other people. And that is all you're supposed to see, is their soul. You're not supposed to see the outward trappings of it. And that includes things like race or class. It includes things like the physical package of someone. So it makes it a lot more easy, I think, to reach out if you're trying to do it from that perspective. And that, I think, does help. It's one of the few things that I've benefited from a lot, I think, in the learnings. And it's something that I have tried to share.
Vashti, you're so inspirational. Just listening to you, who inspires you, or what inspires you?
So I am inspired most when I see someone identify a problem and then immediately try to do something about it. And I've been really blessed, I think, in my life that I've seen people do that from a very young age. I've seen someone say, there's something wrong with this system, we want to fix it. There's something wrong with what someone's doing, we want to correct it. And they're very active. So I've had family members who've done that, I've had teachers who've done that, and I've even been around a lot of young people who've done that. They organize the moment they see something that doesn't sit right. And I like that, because it's a really good mix of morals and action, and I respect that a lot, because we can all sit around and say, oh, well, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
But the person who then acts, I find very inspirational.
Wow, I'm truly inspired. And on that note, we've got a quick game for you, so it's not all serious here.
Oh boy.
I like how you're breaking a sweat there. Okay, so your first question is, if you were to be a teacher of something, what would you teach?
English and history.
If you could meet anyone from history, who would it be and why?
Oh boy. I have a degree in history. There are so many people. Probably Steve Biko.
If you were a recording artist, what would the name of your album be?
Vashti Sings the Blues.
I love that. If you had the brain of Einstein, what would you be famous for?
I don't know. Being able to add? I'm really bad at math. If I had the brain of Einstein, I'd hopefully be better.
Typical history student, If you can win the lottery, what's the first thing you'd do?
Open a foundation.
If you'd be a shoe, what shoe would you be? Heels or flats?
Definitely flats.
Okay. If you were a color, which color would you be?
Brown, probably.
Okay, interesting. If you were not what you are now, what else would you have been?
I'd like to have been a teacher.
Thank you so much, Vashti, for joining us on Identity. I had such an amazing time with you. I'm so inspired.
Thank you very much for having me.
Vashti Nepal is an inspiration to the young and old, proving that any obstacle in life should be treated like a stepping stone to living a fearless and fulfilling life. Ungayindawo siyabuya. Hlala nami emva kwale ntengiso ngoba nxa sibuya amalungu ako Umoja asivumele neekhamera zethu sibone kwenzekani nxa belungiselela umsebenzi wabo. Kwaye kwi-review yethu sijonga i-app ebizwa Sports Republic. Emva koko sijonge iwebsite yethu Jewish Scene Magazine.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Siyanamkela kwakhona kwinkqubo eniyithanda kakhulu eyolutsha kunye nam uviwe Gqwala. Uba usanda ungena, uphoswe incoko yam bendinayo noVashti Nepal, ongumphathi weTahuti Institute. You are in time for our regional story segment. We joined Africa's most dynamic musical group, Umoja, in Soweto. They allowed our cameras into their rehearsal hall, and we also got the opportunity to speak to founding members about the inspiration of the group and why the spirit of Umoja is important for youth to appreciate the preservation of African culture and tradition.
This is my identity.
Giving clothes, money, and food is not the only method of giving back to the community. Todd Twala and Thembi Nyandeni thought of a different way to give back to their community in a way that embraces our culture as Africans, and the concept was Africa Umoja, created to keep underprivileged youth off the streets and give them a chance to live a dream.
Umoja started as an outreach program in 1983. Thembi mesibuya phesheya America from a very long tour whilst we're still dancers. And then when masibuya la ekhaya Thembi sathola ukuthi izinto bezingakho zinhle kungekho mnandi. Sithola abantwana abanengi behlele emakhoneni besniff glue belele ema hill bro. That was 1983 eTradweni. And leyo azange zingihlale kahle njengomama and njengom South African ngoba sakhuliswa ukuthi mase abantu fanele sibhekelana. I-drive yokuthi siqale le project noThembi ukuthi sabona ukuthi emphakathini wethu la sikhulele khona abantwana abanengi abaswelayo bekungenamuntu basizayo, so kwaba yi-drive esiphushayo noThembi ukuthi asisize laba abangasizwa.
This dream has become a reality for many of the Africa Umoja cast members over the years through God who carried them until now.
My spiritual guidance is the most powerful pillar of this project because ngaphandle koNkulunkulu angikholwa ukuthi ngabe sifike la sifike khona, because ngaphandle kwamandla strength engisidrowa kuNkulunkulu on daily basis to make this sure this project continues. I mean, ama-project amaningi aphelele endleleni. Why iningi labo ababeka uNkulunkulu phambili? So la kwaMoja ngibeke mina uNkulunkulu phambili because ngamfundiswa from ekhaya.
I'm spiritually connected to God. I know Him. I believe in Him so much that He's done amazing things for me, and I appreciate it so much each and every single day. In fact, I just thank Him for everything that He's ever done for me now, that He's still doing for me now, and I know there's still a whole lot of things, greater pastures, a whole lot of things are waiting for me now. And I'm so deep, it's not even funny. Like I could sit by myself and think to myself how amazing I am, as an individual, and what amazing things I've received elifeni.
Mangibafundisa labantwana ngoNkulunkulu nale tradition yethu yesintu. Easy because yonke lama gifts abanawo, wonke lamandla abanawo, lo mzimba abanawo, lo mphefumulo abanawo abakhona ukwenza lama dances na konke abanawo kubuya kubani? Kubuya kuNkulunkulu. Badalo uNkulunkulu labantu nalama gifts. I didn't give them ama gift, angibaphanga mina ama gift. Okwami nje ngiyabagruma lama gift. Abazokucula ngiyayigruma nje le voice ukuthi this is how you use your voice. Uyisebenzisa kanje voice yakho. Isifundo abantu abasitholayo abazobukela uMoja ngoMoja sikhulu kakhulu because bafunda ngokuthi umusic wethu usukaphi ukuze kube nekaito namhlanje. Siqale kuphi? Siqale le sigida ama drums, indlamu, kusinwa, imihibo, ukutshinwa konke siqale lapho. Mara ngoba izinto zaya ngokuya evolution, umusic kodwa wathatha wa evolve, into ziya ngokushintsha as iminyaka ihamba. So bafunda kakhulu kabanzi ngomusic wase South Africa ukuthi udevelop uevolve kanjani uzufike la ukhona namhlanje.
I feel that, well, knowing your culture is very important for an individual, whether or Pumapi in the world. It's very important. I mean, you should know where you come from. Those are your roots. You should embrace your culture. I'm Tsonga, no I belong to that certain tribe, but I'm getting to embrace them. And by doing so, I'm still educating abanye abantu.
We're doing what we call Mzansi. So as you know, Mzansi, it's a very energetic dance, and it tells different stories. We understand. Umoja kunengoma esibiza ngokuthi khalantombendle. So basically, it's a guy pleading to intombazana ukushela. So as you know, uthina abantu abamnyama nesikhathi sokuthi amantombazana bengakhona ukushela njengamanje la ukuthi kushelwe estradini or kanjani behlonishwa.
Okokuqala before sibafundisa ngokudansa nangokucula, fanele sibafundise ngemvelaphi zabo. Ngoba ukuqala to start with abantwana abaningi la kwaMoja abaveli kwilona A1 in one tradition, in one cultural what you call tribe. So siqala la iqala khona lento sibafundise sibakhumbuze ngokuthi bawobani, and they must embrace ubuntu babo qala. Into esemqoka inhlonipho. That's part of our heritage. Inhlonipho. And inhlonipho into emnandi ngayo ikhona ngisho eBhayibhelini. Bese kuza ke ini ukuziphatha. Sibafundisa na ukuziphatha ukuthi mawumfana uyintombazana. This is how you conduct yourself. Uziphathe kahle mawumuntu. So that nensuku zakho zizokwazi kwanda ezweni.
This is my identity.
Wow, Umoja is indeed invigorating and energizing. We certainly hope that the passion and dedication of their performance reawakens the African spirit in you. We certainly need more inspired individuals like them in our theatres. Masio Selamans, nxa sibuya sixhumana ne-media review yethu apho khona sijonga i-app eyemidlalo kubo bonke abathanda imidlalo kwaye ne-website eye-Jewish Scene Magazine. Ningayindawo siyabuya ngoku.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Thank you for staying with me, Viwe Kwala, right here on Identity. If you've just joined us, you missed out on an inspiring conversation with Vashti Nepal, the visionary and founder of the Tahuti Institute, and then the powerful and talented Umoja group allowed us into their rehearsal space in Soweto. Now it's time to get your smart devices out to join me for the latest media reviews in our What's Happening segment. Our first review is Sports Republic. This app is for those fanatics who simply just can't get enough of their favorite sports. Sports Republic is one of the best sports news aggregators for Android devices. Specifically targeted for die-hard sports fans, this powerful application is rich in sports content that will surely complement anyone's interest for real-time updates. Let's take a look. Sports fanatics who just can't get enough of their favorite sport will never have to worry again, as Sports Republic is here to save their day. It's specifically targeted for die-hard sports fans. This powerful application is rich in sports content that will surely complement anyone's lust for real-time updates. Sports Republic fetches all the latest content from acclaimed news providers, namely AFP, Associated Press, and Sports Vibe, just to name a few. Heading to the main menu, you can sort news feeds according to date, mood, or videos. Each story is filled with tons of options. These include reading the entire news story using your favorite news reader application, jumping to relevant news stories by selecting the embedded links, adjusting the app's font size, sharing articles through using compatible applications, bookmarking a story, launching the Tag Nav Cloud Explorer user interface, or selecting the mood about the story. The app also offers a couple of widgets that come in compact and large formats. These widgets can be set to display news content from your preferred sources, and topics will automatically be updated. Sports Republic is free to download, absolutely free from the Google Play Store. What makes Sports Republic so effective in delivering the latest news is that the app lets you become your very own sports news editor. How fantastic is that? Our next review is the Jewish Scene magazine website. This interesting website will connect you to the Jewish community. Let's browse a bit. Jewish Scene magazine is a website that will connect you to the entire Jewish community. This is a beautifully designed website with great textures. When you click on www.jewishscenemagazine.com, you will see options such as featured, home and garden, scenes, recipes, simchas, and arts and culture. When you scroll down, you will see the editor's notes where she is sharing her synopsis on what to expect on her website magazine. This website has a textile feel. On homepage, you can click on features. There are options like fashion, Holocaust and remembrance, Israel independence, and vacation getaways. The fashion tab has fashion advices including images on how to stay stylish, and on the Simcha tab, all the celebration parties from weddings to graduation celebration. This page will be suitable for all those who are into outings. In the events column, you get a diarized look on Jewish events, and you have the options to look at even the following months. On the archives tab, that's where you'll find all your previous content on the magazine, and you can still find their 2006 best content. On the social media front, you can check their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page, and also sign up for their e-newsletter by scrolling down to the right side of your PC. You have to have this website on your website history. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Identity. Remember, you can get in touch with us by sending an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. We're also active on the social networking scene. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, search for Identity TV Show and connect with us. That's it from me, Viwekwala, and the Identity team. Goodbye and God bless. We play out the show with this music video. Here's Munewa with More Than You. Let's hang out again next week at 11 a.m. right here on SABC1.